What's going on, everybody? Was having a great day, great night, wherever you're watching this from. Let's talk about trust. Um, One of the number one things that I deal with when it comes to couples and individuals as well is they have trust issues. And I'm going to give you an example of one of the sessions I had with a couple that was dealing with something, and I've gotten their approval to go ahead and talk about this. Both of them, they travel. Their jobs will have them on two different sides of the world, and um, their jobs are very demanding. So most of the time, they spend a lot of their time probably traveling. Probably about out of the whole year, probably about 50% of the time, which is really hard when it comes to trying to build trust and relationship or whatever. But the way that they met was really awkward. It happens all the time, especially when people are going through divorces or people are, transitioning from one relationship or really trying to heal. They went out, they talked, they kicked it, things happened, they fell in love, and here they are. They're a couple. But one of the issues that one of them really had was the trust issues that was taking place in the relationship was not due to just their relationship, but it was due to a past relationship, a relationship they were still healing from. And after counseling them and after talking to them, one of the things that both of them acknowledged was that yes, they're still willing to work on the relationship, but even with working on the relationship, they still need to heal, the both of them. But the problem that one of them really had was the thing about it is that the way they met. And here's the thing, most of the time, the way that you meet a person is the same way that you're going to see that person later on when it comes to your relationship, even as you build a relationship with them. And this is what I'm talking about right here when I say this. They took them about a week, maybe 2 weeks, and they were intimate. Now, remind you, both of them was married, both of them traveled, and it was nothing. But yet still, in the midst of them doing what they were doing, they were still talking to their spouses. They were still talking to their spouses like, life was good or whatever. And, to be honest with you, people being separated, this happens. This happens all the time in everyday life. But with that being said, make a long story short, the issue that they had was if they were able to be like this with me, can they be the same way with somebody else? Can they share their time and their body with somebody else when we're not together? And that's where the issues came in when it came to trust because of what had taken place in their relationship. When they're together, they're happy. But when they're apart, their minds are wondering. The time is wondering. What is he doing? What is she doing? These are the things that happen in everyday relationships. And, it's sad to say that a man can go out here and be with a woman and show no kind of emotions. And he can be intimate with her and move on like nothing ever happened. But a woman, when she does it, she can do it without showing emotions. But I've heard several women tell me that they can do it without a problem, which is really weird. I've never heard that, but they say they can do it, and I guess they can do it. I don't know. But I do know that, if you're really trying to build a healthy relationship, if you're really trying to grow with that person, the issues that need to be dealt with need to be laid out on the table. And one of the things that I challenged them to do was I challenged them to go ahead and talk about their issues, talk about their trust issues, talk about the things that bothers them. Talk about, him not returning her phone calls, and she's out, she's traveling, and he's stateside. And there's always an excuse whenever she calls to the reason why he wasn't able to answer. That right there creates, speculations. That creates trust issues. That create, that's issues that, arise or whatever. And even though they were on two different time zones, still does not make it fair to the opposite person, the person that you're with and you're involved with or whatever. So, I want you all to think about this. I want you all to think about, when you're building with someone, being open, being honest. Along with that, can you really be in a committed relationship, a serious relationship with someone after everything that's taken place in your past relationship? And will you still have thoughts of the way you all met and if this person will step out on you when you all are not together? Because it happens every day. And it's not saying that you're going to find out, because you'll never find out. But if you do, I think it's going to crumble. It's going to break a lot of us. All right? Trust issues, one of the hardest things for us to deal with in a relationship, in a marriage. Just being together, financially, mentally. All these things right here play a part in you having a healthy relationship. So just think about that. The trust that you have with the person that you love is much more deeper than you just spending time with them. It's about what you're doing when nobody's looking. It's about what you're doing when nobody's around. It's what you're doing when that person's not even in your presence. So I want you all to think about that. All right. Last but not least, always remember this: on a moment in your life, God is bigger than this moment, and that's the reason why we got to continue to press. Have a blessed day.